Jazzcast Pros.
Welcome to The Spiritual Shortcut, the podcast to help you realize that you are in fact your own healer and that you can learn to release the invisible anchors that might have been holding you back. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Kristy.
And we'll be your guides on this journey.
For over 2 decades collectively, and honestly, probably quite a few lifetimes, we've used our deep intuitive connection and shamanic practices to help people just like you.
Abercrombie Kids knows how to make outfitting easy. Mix and match sets are their ultimate outfit hack for fall. Their sweatshirts and sweatpants are super cozy, and they always have the cutest colors and patterns. Shop fall's easiest outfit at Abercrombie Kids in the app, online, and in stores.
We have had a bit of an inkling as to what we wanted to do this particular recording about, and then, of course, we pulled cards, and it was in such alignment that it was glorious.
You pulled the cards of Third Eye, which is pretty obvious one, and about dreaming and, you know, what you truly want in the world. And then Inverted Feminine, which is also like clearly apt for us because, you know, we're going through these processes of figuring out who we are and bringing more feminine as much as we can into our lives to try and bring that balance from what we perceive as having had too much masculinity in our lives. And then the third card was the Mastery card. So if you can balance the third eye, feminine, masculine in your life, that's a huge step towards mastery.
And those mastery lessons, and I think I've said this a couple of times before when we've been recording, is like the energy is so finite. Like quite often with clients and within each other, and I know I do within myself, I'll be like, how is it possible I am in this situation again and again and again? And quite often it's that last little like tiny hair that needs to be pulled out, you know, and there's a thread of resentment or something. And it also feels like this isn't just for you and I, this is for all of the lineage as well, right? Because if we look at where we have come from, that masculinity was protection. Like I know for me, it's like absolutely, like when I reflect on those times in my life where I've had to really be in my masculine, you know, it is to protect myself, to protect my kids, to protect whatever is going on. So it's like a safety thing, you know, and like my lineage is full of people that have fled war-torn countries and without going into too much detail, like massive amounts of trauma. So it's like there's no surprise to me at all that for me personally, stepping actively and consciously into that feminine has been such a journey, you know, and we saw it this week in the immersion with the ladies that we sit with. You know, that was a topic of how do we do this? What does it look like? Is it lipstick and high heels and a skirt? Well, no, it's in here.
It's not asking that question. And that's
right.
As soon as you ask that question, the how, that's a masculine question.
That got me
discussing.
Right. That got me. And I did think a lot about that because do you remember one of the women actually said it's receiving. The feminine is just receiving. That's it. So it's like, oh, that's a bit of
when you don't know, you need to sit in that space and be open.
Yeah.
That's what receiving is. It's being open and allowing and sitting in the space until the answer comes without truly asking for it in the energy of, I need to know. And getting your pen and paper out and writing notes and putting together a framework and doing all of that.
That for me is a head fuck, right? Because it's like everything. And I know, you know, we've had similar but different journeys, but it's like even the example of, you know, having a child or children with, you know, whether it is mental health or a disability or something, as a mother, you want to know everything about that so that you can protect, save, rebalance, you know, make sure you've got the right support crew on board. So when you've got those sorts of things in your history, to be in a place of complete surrender, and it almost feels like a handing over to something much higher than myself.
But it's not just about that, because what you're talking about is the pendulum swing. I was too much here, so I'm going to change so much that I end up too much on the other side. Yeah. So you said rebalancing, and the rebalance is I've spent a lot of time informing myself about this topic that I need to know as much as I possibly can about. Then the other side of that is potentially knowing nothing and just allowing the world to do its thing. And so sitting in the middle is going, I've learned as much as I can, and now it's time to see what happens and understand and trust. So, when I ask for something, when I decide I need to achieve this thing in my life, I know what the outcome is that I would like to see. So therefore you're visualizing it. When then you are offered different options, you sit in that faithful space, knowing and trusting yourself and going, no, that's not it. I will be offered something else. Oh, no, that's not it. So I'm not going to take it because I know it's not it. And I trust that it will come and I will know it when I see it.
Again,
and I will feel it.
Yeah, those high-level lessons again in discernment as well. So it's not that trust. It's not just the embodiment. It's, it is discerning whether is this for me at this higher level or not. And if it's not, being so okay and so deep in that knowing that what is for you will come. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
So I was staying at a friend's house over the weekend, and in her ensuite she has a mirror and she's got little things stuck around it. And one of them says, what is meant for you will not miss you. And when you are scurrying around going, I need to find it, where's the right answer, and all those sorts of things, what path should I be on? And there's this anxiety level, and you're in your head, right? And it's that mental energy instead of being in your heart space. You can't see it for what it is, and you can't access that level of trust and knowing.
Yeah.
Trusting and knowing that what is meant for you will not miss you means you can sit back and relax, which is a nice space to sit in.
It really is.
And like the job situation that I'm going through at the moment has been a great example. I had some part-time work, a few evenings a week, a couple of evenings, a few hours, and then some weekends. And the work on the evenings, even though it's with the same client, was different to the work on the weekends. And I said to myself, I really like the weekend shift, but I don't like the evening shift.
That's right, I remember that.
But I don't know how to move forward because I don't want to go to this person and say, I'd like to pick and choose, please, because they're going to go all or nothing, blah, blah, blah. They're kind of that way. And so I was like, I'm not going to do anything. I'll just see how things play out. I get to work one evening and he says to me, we're going to cut your evenings during the week. I want you to keep doing the weekend shift, and I might add an hour or two on the end of it. And I'm like,
great.
Oh, really? That just happened, right?
So good, yeah.
So then I was a little bit like, I do actually need the number of hours that I was getting, but I want them to be on my terms. So I'm in this Facebook group, which is where I found that job, and another one popped up, and I'm like, I'll flick her an email, wrote up a few things, made sure I addressed what she said in her ad and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I've got some trial shifts straight up. When I'm back off my holiday, she's like, it says on the ad, immediate start. And I was a bit like, I'm going to have to tell her I'm on holidays and can't start immediately and have to wait, blah, blah, blah. She's like, come in on the 28th. I get back on the 22nd.
Nice.
I'm like, okay.
Yeah. So what, like even hearing that, I guess it's not just about discerning, is this for me? Is this not for me? It's also about discerning, is this fear? Is this real?
Yeah.
And then being able to unpick, pull all those layers of fear and settle at the bottom and go.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because when he first said to me, we're cutting your evenings, the first thing I thought was, oh, no, I need the money. Oh, no, what does this mean about me? Why is he doing this? Do they not like me? Am I doing a bad job? And all this kind of stuff. And then I'm like, hang on. It's what you asked for. And this is better because he's made the decision, not me. I haven't asked for anything from him. So he's all like big man on campus. I cut her hours. Whatever. I don't know what he's thinking because I didn't ask. I don't care. I got what I wanted.
Yeah. It's, again, that just don't give a fuck. You got what is more suitable for you. Who cares? The rest of the situation, like not from an uncompassionate perspective, but it's like.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
So I don't give a fuck doesn't mean I think everyone's an asshole or whatever, like it doesn't mean that I've, it could. And maybe some people have to go through that process. That's a step in the journey. I am so bad at not caring about what other people think of me that part of my process needs to be that I just angrily go, fuck off and leave me alone and whatever, all the things. The other side of that, the mastery, is you don't impact me. What you want and you decide you want in your life, you don't need a carer in the evenings. That's his choice.
It's not personal.
It's nothing to do with me.
It's not personal.
Not at all.
Yeah.
My son's going through it with his job, and I said to him, mate, they're bullies. This situation is such that it's been a bit of a setup to make you look bad. So don't feel bad about yourself. By the end of the day, he sat down and we had dinner and he said to me last night, actually, I'm really excited now. I feel good because now I've got this opportunity to go and get a new job, which is really what I wanted.
Yeah, so it's also about taking a situation that initially looks like a dog's breakfast, flipping it around and making it work for you, right?
Because the universe conspires for you, not against you.
Yeah. And I feel personally like that's what I've got going on at the moment, like 100%. It's like, I've been dealing with this health issue for so many years and just getting by and getting through and thinking, well, there's no answers. But then I think this round of, I don't even really know what to call it, but it's impacted me so much more because of the burnout, because of the adrenal fatigue, because of I'm just so fucking tired in my life at the moment of having to be the main person to make all of these decisions. And it's like exactly what you're saying. The universe has gone, well, you're going to stop now. And you can be at home and you can lay in bed and look at the ceiling and figure out, whether you want to keep X, Y, and Z in your life, or if you want to go back into the job that you were doing before, or if you want to hit the reset button on absolutely everything and everyone. And, like, I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but because there's now a technical term for it being thrown around, it's like I went into Facebook, I looked at everybody else's journey, I did the freak out and was like, holy crap, a lot of people, this gets worse and worse and worse. A lot of people never get rid of it. And then I had to step back and go, you know what, I've got this far with it. I'm learning new management techniques right now. I have got more support in my life than I ever have before. Just because a certain thing goes a certain way for a certain individual doesn't make it my path either. And again, it's this trust and embodiment of that higher level of what's for me won't go past me, like you're saying, won't miss me, but just trusting that it'll be okay. It'll be what it is and it will be okay. So again, it's that, you've got to take those, I want to say, top layers of fear off to get underneath, to figure out, well, if I look at that, for me, there was a bit of control going on because I didn't know what these, like I've had seizures, I've had tremors, I've had convulsions for 8 years, but like what's underneath? This is actually a control thing. I don't know what this is, so I'm trying to control it. And so this week I've had to go and release all of that control and just go, we'll see what happens. And it's scary, but again, it's this like these higher mastery levels of surrender of, what it is. And like I said to you the other day, in this week, I've had more pop up from my bed, which is like so ridiculous for me because I am that headspace. I've got a list, I've got to tick it off, I've got to do all the things. And then this week, this like surrender point, it's like unlocked so much in my life that I was working towards and couldn't get that final step. So it's really interesting. And the word that comes through for both of us is enough. Like we've done enough. The lineage has done enough. The feminine has done enough. And now it's her turn to step into those like deeper layers of the self and out of the head and into the heart and go, it's my time to receive now because I'm worthy of it.
Yeah, that's right. But it's not even about that. It's that concept of what is receiving. And it's not about getting something. It's about being something. It's about being who you truly are and allowing that to come through without second guessing everything that you want and need in your life and realizing that that's what's important because, that's a calling. We're all called in some way or another to live a certain way. And if you have issues in your life, whether they're mental illness or physical ailments, there's a reason for that. And your body is speaking to you about something being out of alignment. And it's generally going to be, I know what I want to do, how I want to be, the life I want to have, to be in, and I don't have it. I am not that.
Yeah.
And it's about finding out what that looks like for you personally, for each individual.
Yeah. And you were just talking about this before we hit the record button, that comes up a lot for women in those early stages of menopause.
Yeah, 100%.
That reassessment.
All the way through it, and if you don't start to understand what your body is telling you, whether it be normally or in perimenopause or throughout the whole menopause process or journey, then you're going to have those Mack truck kind of situations where, who's to say that maybe you had that situation for 8 years and it became something chronic, but you're like, I'm dealing with it. I'm dealing with it. And it just got to the point where your body's like, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
No, we're not dealing with this anymore.
Yeah.
How bad does it have to get for you to do something or not do anything?
Or not. That's the thing. That's it, isn't it? Or not do the thing. It's like, which is such, my human brain just really struggles to understand that because I've been so in that space of do. So it's exactly what you're saying. The truck comes in and it's like, now you will not do.
What? And what's the definition of insanity that they say?
Yeah, over and over
doing
and over
the same
and over
thing
and over.
and expecting a different outcome.
Yep.
It's got to change.
Yeah, it's so interesting, isn't it? And what a great, we've just had Dr. Talia Steed on, talking about interpreting what the body is saying to you, at that physical level and that spiritual level. So, I mean, this couldn't have come at a better time.
Seeing your desires as selfish is inverted feminine because, what do they say? Happy wife, happy life. If the woman of the family is happy because she's aligned and healthy and producing the kind of life that she desires, what is she going to do with it? She is going to be so magnanimous. She is going to welcome in all the people the children, the partners, the family, the furry animals and all the things, right? She doesn't sit there in the corner going, it's all mine and I'm going to keep it to myself. No fucking way. She's big and generous and beautiful.
Well, she's the top champagne glass, you know, and the word that is like for me is this minimization that we do, you know, of I want that thing, I desire that thing, oh, I could never have that thing, you know, and the minimization of the desires. But the other thing that's crept up for me a lot lately is looking back at my past and minimizing the role that I have played in my own life and minimizing the role that I've then played in other people's lives. And I think that that's a really important thing. You know, again, we're talking about the I, so clearing that glass and looking back and looking at the present moment and going, I am an integral part of this family. I'm an integral part of this friendship. I'm an integral part of this workplace. I'm an integral part of the life that I'm living. And, you know, so many of us, when we go through those times in our life of being depressed or whatever, you know, oh, no one would miss me, you know, no one would notice when I'm not here, which is a complete and utter untruth. You know, we are valued in our workspace. We are valued in our home, in our family, and the role that we play is valuable. And we're worthy of that value, you know, placing that value on ourselves.
Yeah. And the realization of that is that, you know, that the top champagne glass, it doesn't get narrower.
No.
Every level beneath it is pretty much double.
And what a beautiful, like the guides have just dropped in for me, you know, that beautiful hip space, you know, that gorgeous cauldron that we create from, like amazing. What an incredible way to connect it all in together, you know, and it's what you're saying. It's then the connection that goes on, the animals, the children, you know, the husband or partner or, you know, the friendships. Yeah, it's the ripple. You talk to the spooky action at a distance, you know, it's like it then just really, truly magically just flows out into your world, your universe. I just think how fortunate are we? And again, it comes back to this concept of we change the world by changing ourselves.
And that, my friend, is legacy.
Yes, it is.
And that's what we're here for, right?
I love that word.
Oh, it's a good one, yeah.
It's exactly what we're talking about, where it's we change this present moment because we can, because the people that came before us didn't have the toolkit and they did what they could to set us up. And now we are the ones that get to draw that line in the sand and go no more, or yes, please, this is what I want, this is what I desire.
Well, and I see it in my children.
Yeah.
They're teenagers now, and I see them sitting and having conversations that are really quite high level. I know that to some extent they're able to think that way because I've encouraged them to do that throughout their life. You know, and obviously they're that way inclined anyway. So, you know, it's nature, nurture, whatever. And I've attempted to do with them, I've got 2 boys and they're very, very different and I speak to them very differently. We had a conversation last night where they were talking about, they were comparing, one of them said something about their dad and how he talks to him. And the other one's like, he doesn't talk to me like that at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's so fascinating.
Yeah.
Right? It was like a completely different person that each of them was talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wonder if that's how I come across too, because they each are so different in what they bring to the conversation and therefore what they see and hear in that communication.
And how that then affects the legacy that you are leaving. Not just, and I want to say in that present moment, but also what's gone before, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, if we could skip forward 100 years, like what are the things that they will be reflecting on that you taught them?
Yeah. or how they are based on what I taught them without them even realising that's something that I may have taught them.
How they walk in the world. How they, engage with other men, how they engage with other women, how they engage at the workplace. Like it's a big concept to think about, but
we're talking about something far more valuable because it's who you are. And if you think about, if you think too much about property and money, it's like, well, are you here to earn money? What are we really here to do in this lifetime?
That's it, isn't it? It's actually unconditional love and light being brought down. And again, it's like this, to circle back around to the feminine, if we are doing what we are here to do and we are calling back all those parts of ourselves, those soul fragments and the light.
Or rather, if we're being who we're here to be.
Thank you. That's right. And receiving it all. It's like there's more unconditional love to flow from that top glass all the way down. There's more light to be shared around, and because instantly I can see my little girl just being like really confused, like, I've never seen this before. I don't know what this is. And so it's recognizing that it's already here. I was going to say permission, but it's not permission to receive. It's actually, like we've been talking about, the doing of nothing, which is actually the receiving of everything.
When I conceptualize do nothing, it is a surrender, and it is a falling back into what? And the concept for me is into everything. It is falling back into, I don't know, I'm reading a book at the moment called Plasma, so I want to call it Plasma. And she's someone I'd love to have on the podcast and talk to her about, so when I'm finished the book, I'll reach out to her. But it is that concept for me is I fall back in, and when I release it, it is everything that I'm falling into. It's the past, it's the future, it's everything all at once. That present moment is everything. It holds every single thing. That is the only thing that exists.
It is the ultimate reciprocity. Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, so we mentioned the immersion. So for those whose interest is piqued, do get into the show notes here and over to our website, or message us on Instagram, or however you want to chat. We're open to it. We're always looking out for messages and love to have you on board. We do offer the first month as a trial, so people pop in and get to know us, get to see how it is to work with us.
Feel the space out of it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the latest episode of The Spiritual Shortcut.
We'll be back on the first and third Sunday of each month to unpack, demystify, and occasionally make fun of all things spiritual.
Starting with ourselves.
Of course.
Don't forget, those life blocks you've been tripping over are just poorly disguised stepping stones.
We'll support you to laugh, leap, and maybe even do a little victory dance over them. See you soon.